Hello, we are up at the community garden plot. It is the very last day of May and things have just been going gangbusters. It is a really warm, dry spring in Minnesota after a very cold, wet winter. And as we're looking through the plot, you can see the rhubarb has all been going bananas. I've made some rhubarb shrub. My strawberry plants are settling in really well, and the haskap honeyberry is doing well. And then as we go through, I'm trying these tomato spirals for the first time. So the tomatoes are interplanted with basil on one side, and then on the other side of the bed is peppers. So these are San Marzano tomatoes, paste tomatoes. This is a Nova paste tomato. This one's a little bit small, but the one next to it is also a Nova, and it is getting pretty big and setting a lot of flowers. This is like a crazy number of flowers for this time of the year. So the spirals, you just kind of wrap them around as they go. So we're gonna see how that works. I have some in cages. I figured the spirals just gave me a little bit more room. And you can see that some of the weeds are coming straight up through my drip line. But marigolds and basils and stuff seem to be doing pretty well. Actually have some marigolds in bloom, which is nice. And some milkweeds popping up here and there. So down here, we have another Nova tomato. And this, I believe, is a cherry tomato, kind of set in with my fava beans that have finally come up. And we have some rosemary, lemon verbena. And this is a sweetie cherry tomato. So already getting tall. And this is just how you wrap them around. Just kind of nestle in. It's nice. And then here, this is a black cherry tomato. Some marigolds and little baby basils right in between, and alyssum that fried. And here we seem to have lost our dog. Oh, it's a sun gold cherry tomato, one of my favorites. Shishito pepper, looking pretty good. More basil, and a serrano pepper, and something that's looking a little sad down here. Oh, that is a sweet medley. And we can see that the asparagus that we planted a few weeks ago is coming up. Some of it's even going to flower. So that's great. It's funny, so it's green. Maybe it turns green in maturity. It's purple asparagus. So I'll need to kind of keep weeding this out, but it's doing all right. And here we have Juliet tomato, which I've read on the internet is very nice. Another one quite a bit larger next to it. I wonder what makes some of these big and some of them not so big. But this guy's ready to kind of move up in his cage. So I'm trying here to pinch off suckers as I go. A padron pepper next to it. And these are all ahi ricos. So they're just getting going. Pepperoncini, I put in a lot of those. And then these are Thai towers, Thai basil. They're supposed to get pretty tall and be slow to bolt. They look a little fried. I think that even though I did harden them up in my backyard, it got so hot so fast that they just kind of fried when they got in the full sun up here. It's really probably about 12 hours of sun. So it's kind of intense. This is a Paul Robeson tomato, one of the couple that I didn't start myself. Cherokee purple. I see I'm gonna have to come back through here and get all these suckers. Quite a few already. Good tomato weather. And I usually just kind of drop them on the ground. Black creme, going. I want to kind of wrap around in here. Brandywine, which is a potato leaf tomato. You can really see the potato leaf aspect. And green and yellow tomatoes down here. More asparagus, garlic, looking super good. Got 2 full beds. This back one seems to have done better, which I don't think it's probably just a different varietal. My husband planted it, so I actually have no idea what's in it. And then in the back there, I've got a tomatillo. And tomatillos have really gotten ravaged by Colorado potato beetle. But they still seem to be hanging in there. I pinched a bunch of the beetles off. And then here I've planted a pumpkin, so just waiting for that to come up. Once it does, I'll put some drip irrigation on it. And then in this circle, this is a bean tower. And these are borlotti beans that I saved from last year. So it'll be fun to see those grow up the trellis, which they should do pretty rapidly. I ran the drip on this morning. A little more basil, more garlic, oregano trying to take over. And then fennel. This is the first year I'm getting anything out of these fennels. I had been growing Florence fennel, which is kind of the classic, but I guess it's a day light sensitive fennel. And so I've switched to Preludio, which is supposed to be better for our northern days. And then we've got celeriac next to it, which I'm not really seeing busting out of the ground yet, but hopefully will make an appearance soon. And I had done like a whole planting of leeks down here along the tomatoes, and they mostly died, probably because I didn't really water them, but a few of them stuck around and they look really good. So it's pretty hot here today. It's up in the 90s. It's too hot to do any serious weeding, but I just wanted to kind of come up and show some stuff while the sun is shining. Oh, and I forgot. Here's the rest of the strawberry patch. Honeyberry. This is the older honeyberry that did make it through the winter. More strawberries. And then this is the eggplant patch. Also had pretty heavy damage from Colorado potato beetle. I guess they like any nightshades. These have heavier drippers on them, so they got a pretty good watering this morning. You can see we have a couple flowers setting. So maybe we'll actually get some very early eggplants. And over here, we got thyme with kind of sad rosemary, satalicum. This is supposed to be flowers and a few perennials. And then I think I'm gonna take this patch of rhubarb out and plant a bush zucchini there. And then we have cutting celery, parsley, and aster, more rhubarb, which is probably also gonna come out at some point. And then a few native flowers in here for the pollinators. So not a lot to harvest yet, but hopefully we'll start to see some of the herbs really get going. The lemon thyme came back beautifully from last year, and the tarragon and basils and stuff look pretty good. So I think that things will really start to pop soon, and I am excited about how far it's come.